Chapter 1. Fear the Most High. Proverbs chapter 9 verse 10. The fear of the Most High is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. The first thing we must do to obtain the gift of wisdom is to fear the Most High. This fear that the scripture refers to is a sincere reverence and respect for our Creator. I'm not alluding to a fear that will have us shaking and trembling everywhere we go, but one that will keep the Creator at the forefront of our minds. We must honor the Almighty daily. Furthermore, we should give Him thanks for waking us up and supplying us with food, shelter, and all the necessities which have been provided in our lives. Fearing the Most High is the absolute starting point for anyone who wants to grow in their spiritual walk. Many assume that they can skip this step, pick up a Bible, read a few Proverbs, and immediately become wise. Unfortunately, it is not so simple. Yes, one can get a basic understanding from reading the printed words within the scriptures, but the hidden treasures will not be revealed until one proves that they have a true reverence and respect for it. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 20. The root of wisdom is to fear the Most High, and the branches thereof are long life. According to Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 18, wisdom is a tree of life. At the root of this tree is the fear of the Most High. The root is the foundation of a tree and the source of its strength. Furthermore, it is the starting point of its elaborate and enormous growth process. Once our fear and reverence of the Creator is planted and nurtured in the good soil of our hearts, we will continue to grow in wisdom and enjoy a longer, more fulfilled life as an added benefit. Ecclesiastes chapter 40 verse 26. Riches and strength lift up the heart, but the fear of the Most High is above them both. There is no want in the fear of the Most High, and it needed not to seek help. Today, many people would rather choose riches or power instead of fearing the Creator who put them on this earth. There is no lack in the Most High. He will provide for all your needs according to His riches. He is also dependable in the times of trouble. For those that show a true reverence, He is nearby. If you read Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 11 through 21, you will see even more benefits that come as a result of the fear of the Most High. Let's look at a few. Honor, esteem, gladness, a crown of rejoicing, a merry heart, joy, long life, peace, perfect health. The fear of the Most High drives away sins, Ecclesiastes 1 and 21. When we are faced with temptations, it is the fear of the Most High which causes us to be afraid of what can happen as a result of violating one of His laws. The penalties differ based off the transgression that one commits. Therefore, it is vital that we immerse ourselves in the 4 main wisdom books and the first 5 books of the Bible. By studying wisdom, we begin to get a deeper understanding of the instructions and the expectations of the Most High. Once we know what is pleasing unto Him, it is up to us to follow those guidelines so that He would delight in us. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 27. For the fear of the Most High is wisdom and instruction, and faith and meekness are His delight. Proverbs chapter 10 verse 27. The fear of the Almighty prolongeth days, but the years of the wicked shall be shortened. We will live longer and more accomplished lives if we fear the Most High. When we esteem Him highly, He will hold up to His end of the bargain and lengthen our days. It reminds me of the 5th commandment of the set-apart 10 commandments in the Bible. This commandment has a promise attached to it. Honor thy father and thy mother, and your days will be long upon the land which the Most High gives you. We see that our days can be prolonged if we follow this commandment. There are so many young adults across the world that fail to adhere to the words of this instruction. As a result, many die premature deaths, leaving family members and friends grief-stricken with loss and regret. I personally try to walk every day of my existence with the fear of the Most High. I am afraid of what can happen to me if I go to bed and do not ask for forgiveness. I fear what can happen to me if I decide to foolishly disregard the principles written within the 4 wisdom books. I fear what may happen to me if I treat someone wrong and do not ask them for forgiveness. It is in the wisdom books, along with the first 5 books of the Bible, where we get an improved insight regarding the fear of the Almighty. Ecclesiastes chapter 25 verse 10. Oh, how great is he that findeth wisdom, yet there is none above him that feareth the Most High. No matter how rich or poor an individual may be, the chief prerequisite of having a strong foundation in life is to have the fear of the Most High. Society puts corporate and economic status above biblical righteousness. Countless amount of people measure the status of a person's life by materialistic possessions and the amount of money in their bank account. This is a critical mistake that we must not make. Ecclesiasticus 10:24 clearly states, "There is none above him that feareth the Almighty." It is good to operate in that fear and have riches, but in my observation, there have been very few to successfully manage both. Oftentimes, people bypass the fear of the Most High and do whatever they can to get ahead in life. This shows that they lack spiritual maturity and only live for the cares of this world. Acquiring a true fear of the Most High will spare you in more ways than you can imagine. In the Bible, there was a man named Daniel who showed a tremendous amount of reverence for the Almighty. He was given an ultimatum to either worship King Darius or become food for the lions. The decree went forth that no one was to worship any other deity but the king. After hearing the decree, Daniel continued to pray toward Jerusalem and worship the Most High in his house. Secret spies observed him praying and brought Daniel before the king. Judgment was pronounced on Daniel, and he was tossed into the lion's den. However, he was saved by the Almighty for showing that he feared and respected him over a human being. This is the same tenacity we should have when it comes to the fear of the Most High. 3 of Daniel's friends had also experienced a life or death situation. In the days of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, the citizens of the land were given a mandate to bow down and worship the image of gold which he had built. When the musical instruments were played, everyone was to follow the command. Anyone that did not participate in this worship was thrown into a fiery furnace. Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah knew their participation would be displeasing to the Most High, so they decided to fear him instead of man. Because they rejected the worship of Nebuchadnezzar, they were thrown into the fiery furnace. This seemed like an impossible situation to escape from. However, all 3 of them survived and were assisted by a heavenly messenger in the midst of the fire. This is what can happen for all of us that decide to walk in the fear of the Almighty power. When you decide to make the Most High and his instruction a bedrock, you will become unstoppable. Fear the Most High, and you will be on your way to the most valuable and priceless life imaginable. Choosing to show him respect and devotion proves you aspire to be wise. This is the first step and the root of wisdom.